Hello everybody and welcome back. We're doing another unboxing slash overview slash whatever you want to call it today, and it's another gun from VFC. You're probably not going to be able to see this because the box is a bit bigger than the bench, but it's a UMP45, and I've always loved the UMP45. I had a couple of the cheaper double eagle AGs over the years because they were cheap and cheerful, and to be honest the performance out of them were pretty good. But never had a gas one. So there's two variants that they do this in, as you'll see here. They did the UMP45 and the UMP9. For me, the iconic one is the UMP45. The mags are slightly smaller, I believe, on the UMP9, and from what I hear, they hold a few more rounds. Now, the mags for the UMP45 are massive, and apparently they only hold 25 rounds. So, I don't know, maybe we can see if there's anything we can do about that. But I decided to pick one up. So I bought, in the box here, you've obviously got your, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, your manual, your speed loader with your adapters. You get rail sections, so the long one is for the top of the SMG, and then these are for the sides and underneath of the front of the UMP. We open this up here. I presume this is for the UMP as well, because I did order other things in the same order, and they were packaged in this box. I'm pretty certain this is for the UMP. It doesn't make sense that it was for anything else. But there you have it. These mags are gargantuan. They're very big. They're very chunky and blocky. Even with like the AG spec ones with the mid caps and such, it was always a challenge to find space or pouches. Now here's just normal regular AEG mag for comparison. These things are huge. But to be honest with you, Saiga mags are big. We'll find a way around it. So you've got a magazine in the box, and of course you've got the replica itself. We do have an Allen key, which I presume is for these bolts. Would it be for these bolts? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure where the hop adjuster is on this UMP45, but I'm sure we'll find out. So we've got an Allen key in there, but unsure what the Allen key's for at the moment. We can have a flick through the manual if we need to. Just want to get the box out of the way. So let's unpackage this and get this out of the way here, because I can't progress with any further videos without showing it off first, can I? Right, UMP45 from VFC. It's something that's been out for a while. It's completely made of polymer, apart from obviously the bolt, and I imagine a lot of the trigger components as well. Everything on the exterior is polymer, with a few optional pieces here that are metal. Obviously the barrel is aluminium, it feels like, and it looks a bit bare at the moment because it hasn't got all the rails on there, but this thing is such an iconic SMG, and hopefully it's as good as the G36. So I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe it's a spare or upgraded recoil spring. So let's take a quick look here. We can pop this rear pin out and drop the lower. I believe this is how we do it. Yeah, we can take that out like that. We've got the recoil spring. It does look about the same diameter, so maybe it's just a heavier one, because this one does, it's not too bad, with a very beefed up spring on this like little buffer system at the back here. So we fold that, we get that out of the way. Can we extract the bolt? We can indeed extract the bolt, which is fairly light for its size. What's funny is the cocking tube, and the cocking tube for the handle is polymer, actually. So the tube's polymer. The handle itself also feels like polymer, but I could be mistaken there. So yeah, that'd be interesting. In terms of the hop, I think that's where it is. Yeah, so the hop is found just inside the front here, so that's what the Allen key in the box was for, if this camera will focus. So you got a little up arrow there, so nice and easy to adjust your hop, but you will need an Allen key for it. And that's it stripped down. Having bought this from overseas, it doesn't have a restrictor, so we shouldn't run into any issues there. Nozzle's very, very smooth. A bit of up and down movement, but just try and see if we can check the seal on this. It's not too bad. It's always difficult with these because you're trying to seal it against your fingers. It's not too bad. And then I believe that this gun has a system where you can adjust these screws and move this bar forwards or backwards. I can't quite remember what that's for. It'll either be for one or two things. Maybe the cycle rate. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because that sits there. Or that... Actually, no, that could be for maybe gas flow, because it's sort of actuating with the valve knocker. Yeah, it actuates on the valve knocker, so that sits there. So it's something to do with the gas flow. Maybe for more recoil, maybe for more power. I'm sure we'll find out in good time. But first of all, we can get our rails fitted, can't we? So let's get this cut open here. So we'll pop these screws out. I think this is the longer one for the top. So we get 2 screws. We get the rail piece as well. What material are these? That's definitely aluminium of some kind. So which way around does it go? Because we've got sort of like a slotted screw in one and a fixed screw in the other. Does it matter? It probably doesn't matter. So we'll just go ahead and spin these in. And to do that, what we're going to need, is that a 4mm? No, that is a 3mm. So we play roulette with the with the Allen keys. So we've got 2 screws, one there, one here. I believe they've got metal inserts in the polymer, so it's not like you're screwing straight into the polymer there. That's nice and fixated up the top. And then we've got all the screw lengths look the same, the rails look the same, they've all got the slot on one end with a slightly elongated hole. I imagine that's so they don't run into any issues of the holes not lining up or something like that. So let's get these pushed out here. We have one. So you could technically run it with or without these rails. I'm not sure why you would run it without. Maybe if you're not fitting any attachments and you just want it to be a little bit more comfortable on your hands instead of like these biting into your hands. So with the bottom one, I believe we're going to have to remove that. So yeah, we can remove that piece and we would replace it with one of these. And that will allow us to put our accessories, so grips, lights, pressure pads, you name it. But these are older style guns, if you want to call it that. It's like from an earlier era where I'm not as clued up with the real steel stuff, but this was before the days of everything having M-lock, is what I'm trying to say. But if a UMP45 had M-lock, it wouldn't be nowhere near as iconic as you or me will probably find it. You know, this is in a lot of computer games, movies, which is predominantly why a lot of us, especially me, buy these replicas, because, you know, you've probably looked at it on a website before, you've never looked twice at it, and then all of a sudden you've watched a movie or you're playing a video game and you're like, actually, I want that in my hands right now. So the one that most comes to mind is was it Lone Survivor, when that came out, and everybody wanted the rifle from that film. When I worked in a different airsoft shop years ago, everyone was coming in asking for the same thing to be built. on the release of the movie. So rails are fitted. Looks a little bit more aggressive up front now. You have to tell me in the comments down below how would you run it. Would you run it with or without the rails? So this pops in there. We've got our recoil spring, which will go in there like that. Our trigger pack swivels into place. It's a very nice fitment on that, to be honest. We can push our body pin at the rear. And it was a good thing about the double eagle AEGs because they were really inexpensive. And, you know, I can't remember what you did. I think it was a pin you popped out maybe and the cap came out, or the cap just came out and you had a quick change spring and you just put your NIM batteries or your lipos in the top. So there we've got all our rails fitted now, and it's a little bit more chunky. In terms of comfort, it's a lot less comfortable with these bits on the front, but, you know, we'll have to see how. Maybe I have to look at maybe some German forces, see how they ran it. I know I wanted to go that direction with, I say go that direction with my G36, and then I bought a really nice real steel rail. So we're going to get some gas in this. So let's gas this mag up. Sound like a good chunk of gas went in there. There we go. What rounds have we got? Have we got only 2.5s left? I believe we've got some 2.5s left. There we are. If I need more, I'll go get my Vanguard, because it's got all my 2.5s in it at the moment. So you are a bit limited with this on barrel accessories. You can get like a dedicated UMP suppressor for this. That has a very, you know, specific fitment. Now, if you wanted to, there's plenty of meat there. You could always machine this down and have a 14mm thread in it if you wanted to run a trace or anything like that. It wouldn't be a difficult thing to do. We're going to run the little adapter that the VFCs usually come with. See if we can fill this up easily enough. Doesn't feel like that adapter fits this mag well at all, but it only holds 25 rounds. I'm going to lock this back just so we don't damage the nozzle, because this is a very full magazine. And I wouldn't recommend HK slapping this because this part inside is polymer. But, you know, if you're careful, you can do it like that. Right. We're set to 2.5s. So let's go and give it a go. So first, what power are we running at? Ooh, 1.4 joules. It's very, very loud and violent. Kind of reminds me of the MPX. 1.4 joules on a 2.5. So we can, I think, use the VFC downgrade valves, which I do for these, for the VFC replicas. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a similar fitment. If not, it's not a problem, but let's give it a blat. So very nice indeed. Let's try the 2-round burst. That 2-round burst is really quick. I like that. It's like a vector. Remember the Gbbr vectors used to be very quick on the 2-round burst. Can we get a burst out? We've got much ammo left. You know, there was a few of you guys in the Discord. One, I can't remember his name. He was, the reason we were talking about it is because he was doing airsoft gameplay and he was using a UMP, and I was like, that sounds so freaking cool. And many people, when I announced it, have, you know, sent me messages going, you'll love the UMP. It is a little bit outdated in terms of weapons technology, but you're going to absolutely love what VFC have got to offer with this. I believe they did 2 versions. You have to correct me if I'm wrong. Did they do a version 2 of this? Doesn't, yeah. VF2, well, VF2 it says, so maybe there's a version 2, like the G36. But, you know, oh, I've got a bolt release as well on the left hand side we can use. That's 2 mags. I haven't gassed it up again since, but I am going to run out of BBs. So we are going to have to downgrade it. There's an extra round there we can just sling through. Oh, extra 2 rounds. So I have bought a bunch of mags. It's incredibly lightweight. So if you want, you know, a gas blowback SMG and you're not put off by the mags, this is extremely lightweight, which I always used to love. I mean, this is going back a long time, about the electric ones I used to have. I never had the G&G one, but I did have the Double Eagles. They were just incredibly lightweight. I think we built a couple for like a police-themed like milsim, where we were all running like these UMPs. And the great thing about it was they allowed us to, at the time you could only get high cap mags. So we just ran some of these. We had 2 mags, that was it for the whole event, which we did get permission for because it's normally a non-high cap event, but they knew we weren't going to go silly with it. It was more for looks than anything else. And it was so lightweight. So if you don't want something super heavy, a lot of my guns are heavy. This is very, very weightless in comparison. So that's going to be good for you. They're not massively expensive. If you buy these from overseas, I can't remember what I paid for it. I'm going to say like 120-ish pounds. Might have been, I think it was on WGC. Could have been WGC, could have been JK Army. I'm not too sure. I always forget. So I bought it. I bought an extra, I think 4 or 5 mags for it because we're going to be wanting to do, we'll do a Jaeger test on it when we get round to it. More importantly, we'll be putting it through the gauntlet, but I think this thing's going to be an absolute beast. I think it's going to be a monster in CQB. Now, we can't run around doing 2-round bursts on a game day, but we can experiment with it in the gauntlet and see how it does. So lightweight. The punch of this thing is very good. We do need to tweak the FPS a little bit. But, I mean, I would say, in terms of impression out the box, in terms of, I mean, we just shot 2 mags through it and a little bit more. Do I have a bit more? Do I have a few more BBs? Let me find something. We'll see if we've got any more BBs, because I haven't regassed it. No, I've got no more BBs. I'm completely out. I do go through them, but 2 mags on 1 fill of gas, and it was absolutely fine. It didn't slow down. Semi and the 2-round burst, super quick and punchy, very, very nice. The blowback on it is very nice as well. Can we actually dry fire this? I imagine we probably can. So it might not seem it to you, but it's a very, some guns have like a mushy but heavy recoil. This is more like, it's like a lighter recoil but very hard instead of mushy. So it's very difficult to explain or put into words. But I'm very impressed with that. And I love the fact that we put it onto auto and dumped half a mag, and it just ran all the way through the mag with no hiccups. It wasn't spitting gas or anything like that. It would be nice if anybody has one of these. Why, if the gun has the gas capacity for it, why did they limit it to 25 rounds? Because you could get a lot of rounds in there. Unless it's single stack. It might be single stack. Looking at the follower here, it doesn't open up like a normal double stack. So I imagine this is a single stack mag. But even so, sure, there's more. You could fit more than 25 rounds in that. Maybe we'll have to look at it. Maybe we just put up with it. I'm not even sure how many rounds the real magazine holds. Does it say on here? If you know, put it down in the comments below. I know a lot of you out there are proud of your firearm knowledge. So how many rounds does a real one of these hold? I imagine it's like maybe 30 rounds, something like that. It's not going to be more than 30, is it? So sucks it's 25 rounds, but it is what it is. If it works and it can shoot 25 rounds in a good, consistent manner with good performance, then happy days. Another VFC product that I've been very delighted with out the box. I mean, it might not have seen that with the G36, and we'll get round to the G36 Gauntlet if I haven't already uploaded it, because I don't know where we are with the work queue. But the VFC G36 in the Gauntlet was absolutely phenomenal, and this kind of feels the same. The G36 has a very distinctive noise to it, probably because it's got like a polymer shell, and this shares that same characteristic. So I was very tempted to get the 9 as well, but honestly I thought that was a little bit, and some people do say that the 9 is better, maybe because of the mags, not too sure. Some people were telling me that the mags in the 9 are 30 rounds and the ones in the 45 are 25 rounds, but I'll have to confirm that. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more. We've got a bunch of videos recorded that I just need to release, so they might be a bit staggered or they might just go all up in one. We've shot a lot of gauntlet stuff, which I think in the period of me doing the gauntlet, whether you like it or whether you hate it, that's fair enough either way. I am getting better at it, so hopefully you'll see in the coming videos that we do a bit better. So I think I've already uploaded the pistol one, but we've got Gbbr Masada, Gbbr F90, Tokimori MP7, Masada F90. What else did we take? I took the Uzi, the Northeast Uzi, which was very, very good. I'm drawing a blank now. I did take the MPX and many other stuff. Vorsk VMP2, which was kind of boring, but the rest of them absolutely excelled. So enough of me waffling. You get back to your evening. Have a good evening, and we'll be seeing you in the next one. Thank you very much from me and Bench.